They cut down my century-old oak trees for their pool view, so I made their resort-style backyard legally unbuildable. I came home from my daughter's wedding weekend to find my backyard looking like a war zone. 3 massive oak trees that had stood for over a century were gone, reduced to stumps and sawdust. My neighbor, Amanda Sterling, the plastic surgeon with zero conscience, had hired a tree service to clear what she called obstructive vegetation that blocked the view from her new infinity pool. Amanda lived in what she called her architectural masterpiece, a glass and steel monstrosity that looked like a spaceship had crashed in our historic neighborhood. She'd already demolished a 1920s Tudor to build it, complete with imported marble and even a rooftop helipad that violated zoning laws. The trouble started when she began her backyard renovation. She'd been hinting for months that my oaks were casting shadows on her pool area and ruining her sightlines to the valley. She even offered to pay for professional tree management that conveniently involved chopping off their lower branches. I refused every time. These weren't just trees. They were living history, planted in the 1890s, protected by landmark status, and vital to the neighborhood's character. But Amanda didn't care, and while I was away, she destroyed them. When I confronted her, she was lounging by her new pool, admiring her fresh view. She didn't even look guilty. "Oh, those old trees?" she said with a dismissive wave. "My arborist said they were diseased and dangerous. I was protecting the neighborhood. You should be thanking me." Her so-called arborist, a hack she paid to declare the trees structurally unsound. Amanda even had fake documents claiming the removals were an emergency. I called the city forestry department, but her lawyers had already filed emergency permits, which would take weeks to challenge. That night, I remembered something crucial. My aunt, a botanist, had helped designate our hillside as a protected urban forest back in the 1970s. I dug through her research files and found the original environmental studies and conservation easements. That's when it clicked. Amanda hadn't just broken neighborhood rules, she had violated federal law. The oaks she destroyed weren't just historic, they were critical habitat for several protected species under the Endangered Species Act. No one could legally remove them without federal permits and impact studies. I documented everything: photos of the stumps, destroyed nesting sites, and copies of the conservation agreements. I filed complaints with Fish and Wildlife, the EPA, and the State Conservation Office. By Monday, federal agents and biologists were on site. The EPA classified the removal as destruction of protected habitat. State officials ruled that Amanda's pool complex violated habitat laws. Then came the hammer. Investigators discovered her 2-year renovation had wiped out native habitat across her lot. The imported landscaping, the hardscaping, even her pool excavation, all of it damaged the protected ecosystem. The result? The EPA ordered her to restore the land to its natural state. The pool had to go. Native trees and plants had to be replanted. She was fined $200,000, and her property was placed under permanent conservation monitoring. My oaks couldn't come back, but federal funds covered planting new heritage, trees, and restoring my property. The protections were even strengthened